Guys, Horace here, and today I am back with another building tutorial. I'm going to be taking you through some pretty simple steps to get a pretty advanced house. Now, just so you know, this is not just, you can use a lot of these skills on many different houses. This is not just one tutorial on how to make one specific house. This is a very generic and advanced technique to make your builds look super professional and super good, and you can twist them around and use them in different places to make your houses better in general. We're going to just start out with this tiny little house that doesn't even have a door, but it is a very bad house, as most of you will instantly recognize. The house structure is just not there. It's 2 blocks and with a horrible roof that has no depth whatsoever. And so a lot of people will go with this house and change it in little ways to make it look pretty almost the same, but just a little bit different. But I'm going to take this tutorial in a bit of a different way and really give it some flushing out on how to create larger houses that look awesome, cool, and just plain epic. So what you're going to really do is what you want is a very large structure to work off of. This is literally just a bunch of lapis blocks that just shows the outline of what I'm going to be building. It has no details on it. I'm not working by anything else but what it's going to look like on a structure level, but not on a detailing level or a look level or anything like that. And then once I got that, my layout I'm pretty happy with, which is basically just me randomly, putting giant squares everywhere to make some type of layout on some level until I'm pretty happy with it. I just came up with this layout in 2 to 3 minutes, so it's really not too hard. Just a few things that you need to remember. Never try to go especially when you're doing walls, never try to go just one out and then it's going to be 3 here, and it's a little awkward. So I just like going right in the middle between things. I made a little bit of an exception here just because it is the front and it's going to be completely symmetrical. But yeah, just generically trying to go down the middle always is a big benefit. Another thing that you will always need to do is make sure that your build is on a center line. Do not forget to do this. Houses that are on an odd block is just really or an even is just really annoying and a little bit more difficult to deal with. So having them on odds is always the thing that you want to do, and that goes with everything because you can make your windows look a little nicer instead of having really wonky windows and such. So the next step that I'm going to do is I'm going to put a basic layout on how I want the windows to look like, and this is just me punching holes in the wall, really not doing too much else, but still keeping all of the lapis blocks in structure of where I want things. I'm not going to be putting any detail on any of my build right now. The next step is figuring out my palette and my base blocks. These, you can put a little detail like I did here. With this build, I did a little bit of detailing here, but nothing major, nothing overblown. I just wanted to figure out a palette to put on the base level of this build. I chose some endstone bricks, some birch slabs, and some mushroom blocks, which is the ID is 99, not 900. 99, there we go. If you want to get that, or if you're building on Builder's Refuge, you can go into the blocks and get the block simply by doing that. So the next step that you're going to do is your roofs, which are super important. I give a layout and then build up my roofs. You can have any number of roof designs on this. Don't just think that mine is the only one you can do with this design. Minecraft is all about adapting and learning and making your own buildings. But other than that, not too much new after this. Pretty much everything is the same. It's just a little bit more advanced roofs, and then filling in all of the roofs themselves. The next step is going to be adding little details. Now, how the difference between this, which is a fairly okay build, to this is a pretty good build, is those little details, stairs, slabs, fences, things like that, that really bring the build together and give it a lot more depth and detail. This is really not too advanced. It's pretty simple. Like, these corners are literally just some corner things like that. Really not too hard to follow. There are many different details that you learn over your time. Definitely try figuring out some details that will work, and definitely try not to over detail. A lot of this wall space is not touched whatsoever. A lot of it just comes down to basic detailing in the block themselves and the texturing that I used for those blocks. Which is why I personally don't like wood, because it's too similar to a lot of the detailing blocks that I use. So not having having two very different contrasting between a foundation block and a detailing block and a roof is always definitely an advantage when you're building. Anyway, the next step and final step is final details. This is where the build goes from pretty good to fabulous, where you can call it very good and it's done. It's, at a level which, you can be very happy with. I personally did lots of stair detailing and fence detailing, along with putting some fences in the windows. That way I didn't have to put glass. Of course, you can put glass. I even suggest putting glass. Glass looks wonderful on builds. I just chose not to. Doors are always a super important thing. So especially if you're trying to go for a little bit more realistic, this is very much of a fantasy build. So I had a wide open door. Really love the way this looks, but having a normal and real door like this just does not fit too well in that door. So you will have to, you might have to, tighten that up quite a bit. But there are little things like buttons that I personally love using, especially when I'm using on a lighter tan build. Love that type of detailing. There are many other details that you can use, such as fences and pressure plates and doors. Along with even some of the odd ones like note blocks or crafting tables, anvils, and some of the green glaze or the glazed terracotta, along with some heads if you have that head command or head plugin on your server, or you're just building on Builder's Refuge, along with banners. So really giving your build those little tiny details, but not overdoing it. I could, go through and spam a bunch of banners, but I really don't want to do that, mainly due to the fact that it looks messy, and even though sometimes it does give even more detail, it just looks messy, and we just want to keep it pretty clean and nice. Anyway, guys, hopefully you are going to be able to use this tutorial to make some awesome and fantastic houses in the future. As always, thank you so much for watching and all of the support that's been going to my channel. It's been absolutely amazing to see. I just wanted to thank you all so much. Anyway, guys, have a fantastic day, and I will see you later. Bye.